Hello, welcome to Singapore Geospatial Week Plus 2020, an event organized by GeoWorks, Singapore Land Authority's Geospatial Industry Centre. So we are pleased to bring to you 2 weeks full of geospatial webinars spanning various industry tracks and international speakers. So today we are excited to introduce Stephen from PAM to share more about controlling pedestrian flow using data-driven navigation system. So if you have any questions during the webinar, please leave them in the Q&A box and we will answer them at the end of the webinar. So thank you, and without further ado, I will pass the presentation to Stephen. Stephen, please.
Hello. Welcome everybody, and thank you for your time today. I'm going to take you through a presentation around geospatial pedestrian flow. So just hold on a minute and I will share my screen. Screen. There we go. So, hello, my name is Stephen Minning. I'm the CEO and founder of PAM. PAM is a software platform to develop intelligent navigation in smart city precincts. The question is, how complex is too complex? When is an environment too complex? And when does it make visitors feel uncomfortable because they can't navigate it confidently? We have all had those experiences, and even more so if you have accessible needs. There are many customer point solutions on the market. There is an app for everything, it seems. However, brand experiences and regulations need a symbiotic relationship between the environmental data points and the geographic location of an individual to be truly effective. Over the past decade, the trend is for geospatial technologies to connect these data points to create environmental technology platforms with individual user types at the center of each experience. Smart precincts require an augmented suite of customer touchpoints for visitors to explore and experience the very complex modern built environments we are creating. These touchpoints need to communicate simply and effectively at each specific geolocation. By creating a virtual twin and connecting digital mapping, direct and interactive kiosks, your customer gains clearer understanding of the most efficient routes to their destination, real-time knowledge of temporary changes in the environment, and this provides a faster, safer, less stressful experience. Here is a brief 2-minute video introduction to smart navigation in iconic precincts. Next slide.
Hi, I'm Stephen Minning, CEO and founder of PAM, and I want to tell you how we are creating a smart and responsive platform for precinct operators. Most smart city precincts look impressive, but they don't seem that smart to a visitor. However, behind the scenes, there's a lot happening to make them efficient, safe, and fun to visit. The less frustration visitors encounter, the more planning and design has gone into those experiences. We call those frictionless journeys. And the way you navigate these complex environments is at the heart of the PAM wayfinding platform. We're all used to reading signs, and now they're becoming digital. The content needs careful planning and management to make it smart, and more importantly, useful. The latest smart city technology not only captures the way we interact with our environment, it can now also surface data at the right time so we can make informed decisions on where to go or not to go, as the case may be. The combination of digital signs for vehicles and pedestrians working in sync is very powerful for any complex environment and greatly improves the customer experience. They may look pretty simple, but by adding the ability through PAM to dynamically manage the navigation content as the environments change in real time, keeps your visitors engaged, safe, and informed. PAM can also deliver live content to digital directories with 3D maps in shopping centers, theme parks, airports, and precincts with many destinations and retail experiences. How exactly will you locate that particular shop, service, or event? And smartphones now play a big part in nearly every unknown journey we take. PAM delivers contextual data through our smart navigation and mapping technology, which responds to the live environment as places open, become congested, and close, which helps you decide where to go depending on your destination and personal circumstances. I hope you enjoy the following videos that will explain the power of the PAM platform in more detail.
Welcome back. In the world we live in today, safety is paramount and managing risk is essential for all owners and operators of large environments. As in particular our precinct buildings and public spaces, this is very important. The COVID pandemic has given us a shared public challenge. Best estimates have this new normal with us for the next 2 years at least. And to respond, we must adapt and leverage technology to provide us with the tools and flexibility that will help us all stay safe. Here is a brief 2-minute video on managing critical events in any environment.
Hi, I'm Steve Minning, CEO of PAM. Safety within the built environment is probably one of the most talked about subjects across the globe right now. PAM believes safety is paramount, so we created the PAM Reactive software product. Reactive provides owners of complex precincts the ability to take control during emergency events in real time. This provides the precinct operator control of information on digital signage in sync with visitors' smartphones. Dynamic navigation routing and directional signage helps move people and vehicles in real time around that problem. These are powerful tools to improve safety across any smart precinct. The following video will give you insights on how Reactive provides a new level of control for precinct operators. Today's smart precincts are full of digital customer touchpoints, as you can see behind me. This is an education precinct. This also applies to sports and entertainment precincts all around the world, public spaces, conference centres, resorts and casinos, airports, very large, heavily populated environments. So, for instance, in an education precinct, you might have an interactive kiosk. You can go up to it, you can click on the screen, you can interact with the content, you can search for various destinations. Or the digital directory next to a lift lobby or building entry to tell you the tenants within that environment. And of course, you've got the events and activities going on within those environments. Now, PAM provides content to all of these different touch points. What we've innovated is the ability to attach a QR code to these destinations. So if you scan one of these QR codes, it'll immediately take you through to where the Faculty of Engineering and IT Welcome for IT is on a floor plan. So that's one example, but this is also very relevant to safety and security situations. So we've all been in situations where we've had to evacuate a building, for instance. So we can run that content across all of these touch points. You can contextualize it to different precincts, buildings, different areas. And the first thing you want to know is what's the best exit relative to the threat. So in this instance, where I am, that's the best exit. But the QR code in this instance can help you understand where the muster point is. So as you leave your building or the building that you're in, where is that muster point? So you can find your fire warden and register with them. Another example of how PAM can be used to drive smart content to help a situation would be around COVID. So as we reopen buildings and return to the new normal, we need to know information that keeps us safe. So obviously social distancing is key to this, and with a QR code that can be scanned on any one of these touch points, you can see a floor plan, and the floor plan can show you the non-accessible areas where you're not meant to go, but it can also show you the rooms that you are allowed access to, including occupancy limits. So that helps us all become responsible within these new environments as they come open. Another example of how critical event messaging can be used in an environment is shelter in place. So the QR code in this situation actually becomes a digital gateway to live updates. I can show you how that looks. So if I scan one of these, the operators of the environment can share live updates depending on where I've scanned that information, and that can be a lifeline in certain situations when you need to know if you should stay place or evacuate that particular location. So these are a number of examples of how PAM can be utilized to help present messaging related to critical events and make environments safer.
Welcome back again. Creating a smart, connected and flexible navigation system helps cities cope with large volumes of pedestrians, vehicles and other modes of private and public transport. And in the post-COVID world, we need much smarter ways to manage pedestrian flow. There's a lot that goes into creating a smart precinct, and it starts with robust planning with the aim to realize certain operational concepts by the teams who manage those environments. Another consideration is a significant shift towards cloud technology platforms, providing teams with the ability to work anywhere, anytime on a connected device to dramatically improve safety and productivity. Here's one last short video around precinct planning tools. It's quite interesting.
CEO of PAM. PAM provides a suite of digital tools for owners of large properties to build a connected network of digital and physical customer touchpoints. Property managers and operators capture, design, and maintain a network of customer touchpoints and real-time data to provide contextual messaging to visitors that will enhance their time within the precinct. PAM Studio is the key to managing a combination of physical and digital signage across any complex environment. Scale and manage a wayfinding system across a city, district, or precinct, and deliver real-time content across the floor of a building or just for an individual room or event space. Use the PAM Studio to design your environmental navigation experience. Quickly plan the location of objects, signs, sensors, digital displays, kiosks, and any customer touchpoint you want to include in those environments. As you will see in the following video, augmented reality is now playing an important role in the location planning process, allowing you to truly understand how objects will integrate into their environment before committing to budgets. PAM Studio delivers significant operational efficiency, empowers operators with real-time content updates, and improves the customer experience. I hope you enjoy the video. So I'm going to show you a project that we're currently working on for the Australian National University. Here we've got the entire campus. There are about 8,500 different touch points. Some of them physical, some of them digital, every sign, every branded element you can imagine. So we're going to zoom into a lot of detail, and this is a cloud-based platform, so anybody can collaborate and work on it at any point in time. And you can see the exact content that's going to be applied onto each one of these signs. For instance, this is a totem sign, and it identifies the entry to a building. It has the number, the tenant of the building, and if we scroll down a little bit, we can actually see the location of where that sign is. So we can see it technically on a map, but visually there's an older sign here that they're going to get rid of, and here's the new sign. So one of the difficult things is understanding not just where you technically place a sign, but where you actually physically orientate it relative to the environment. And this can be really complicated, and a lot of drawings will be produced. So we've got an app that helps you do the sign placement in the actual environment. So it's an augmented reality app. We'll show you how that works. So here's the AR app, which you can click on, Australian National University. It's got thousands of signs in there. You can choose the placement, parking, but this one's for the front of a building. Quick tutorial. What that does is it scans the environment, it understands the context of it, and then it puts the sign at the right size in that environment, and then you can rotate it depending on how you see that sign and where you want it located. A little bit further back, rotate it back this way, maybe a slight angle. Happy with it? Take a photo, and then that uploads into the platform. So after doing the AR placement of the signs themselves, they then get uploaded against each one of the assets. The installers can then see the exact location of how they're going to orientate and place those signs. That's an example of using that AR technology to rapidly place and deploy where signs will be located.
So that's an example of how you can be used to augment the design process. So for 5 years, we've been building PAM to provide precincts with a connected navigation platform using dynamic 3D mapping, directional signage, and interactive kiosks, all managed under one central cloud system. So PAM provides more control for city commuters and improves safety. Cities gain more visibility of pedestrian movements and capability to control and improve the travelers' experiences using data-driven optimization. We are currently working with government precinct operators and large corporate asset owners investigating both low-tech and high-tech solutions on COVID response trial projects that will improve safety and rebuild trust in public spaces. So this is a case study. I'll just take a few minutes to take you through. It's the University of Technology, and they implemented the PAM master plan upgrade of the facilities. It has continued to roll out digital touchpoints across UTS's existing buildings in response to feedback from students and tenants who find environments much easier to navigate. Each quarter, a yearly quarter, we supply data analytics reports to the Facility Management Office to identify which services are being searched for by students and visitors, so improvements can be continually made to the user experience. The campus is city-bound, vertical precinct, and it's hard to navigate due to the connectivity of the buildings and external environments. The challenge for new students and visitors is understanding where everything is. During the discovery process of engagement, the student's persona carried a significant weighting in the design process, and expectations lent towards digital instead of physical signage. Obviously, you can't get rid of all physical signs, they're necessary, but digital gives you a lot more flexibility. UTS now employs 3D navigation touchpoints across the campus to help students and visitors find their way. The UTS smart digital directories and touchscreens are in every major building and public space. Visitors easily find any destination or event on campus. However, a QR code on both the digital screens and physical signs around the main public areas have been installed. The same functionality can be found on your smartphone, providing a personalized user experience, depending on your needs. This includes accessible pathways and facilities, multilingual translations, and text-to-speech options to make every environment inclusive and accessible. Using the PAM can activate any environment to support events in real time. By tying events to actual locations, it's easy to understand what's happening, where, and how long it will take to get there. This has significantly improved event participation across the campus during major events like O Week, Orientation Week. Student and visitor satisfaction feedback has also been dramatically improved. UTS is the leading technology university in Australia and setting the standard for education facilities and smart precincts globally, and we're proud to work with them. Thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, please let me know in the QA session coming up next.
Hello, thank you, Stephen. So if there is any questions, feel free to put in the Q&A chat box.
You can ask me anything. That's fine. I know there's lots of information to digest.
Oh, Stephen, I think we have one from the Q&A. Are you able to view it?
Yes, I can. So it says, great product. Does it integrate GPS and indoor nav? It's an excellent question. Thank you very much. So what's the way our technology works? It's agnostic to a lot of location services. So GPS will tell your phone where it is, essentially, and then you've got other location-based technologies, especially with the advent of the new Wi-Fi technologies. It's going to become super accurate exactly where this is, literally down to the inch or centimeter. And that's really going to dictate where the location of a person is. We can absolutely integrate with those, but ours is a web-based technology. So it's like Google and Apple Maps, essentially. And that's how the location actually works from our side. So it depends on the technology and the infrastructure of the environment and the city that you're in. Okay. I've got what are the limits or any upgrades coming in the pipeline? It's a very good question. Thank you. So there are two sides to PAM. You've got the PAM OS, the operating system, and that's managed by the operators of the environment that are pre-planning future precincts. And then you've got the PAM 360, which is the operational system. Once it's live, what levers do I pull and buttons do I push to change pathways and redirect people and vehicles? We continually run upgrades. It's a cloud-based platform. It's secure. It's on AWS, and it has all the security and systems in place. We continually work with our customers to improve the user experience of the products. It says, like in SEA APAC, are your customers mostly in Australia at the moment? No, actually, we have more interest, much more interest outside of Australia than we have within Australia. Australia's been great. We've been working with universities here and various government organisations, but our main customers are in America and in the Middle East at the moment. They're the two, I suppose, most customer-centric and also technologically adaptive environments that seem to be embracing this kind of technology with a rapid pace. I also have, we also have many discussions going throughout APAC and Asia. Can you share a little more on about a client use case, the challenges and opportunities? There are many use cases for improving navigation and environment. We have had discussions with various organisations in healthcare, education, sports and entertainment. And we always focus on two sides. There's what does the customer want? What do they need? What's going to improve their day-to-day activities? But also, who are the operators and owners of that information, from marketing to facilities to property, and how do those data points actually connect? And that's really how you're going to improve things. There are many use cases where we've had an initial audit of an environment with customers. They've identified the value and cost of their physical sign system. They've done interviews with various stakeholders and identified that there really is a need to move digital. We do that on a case-by-case basis and help put together a business case for those customers so they can take it forward, get funded, and implement that over the 3 to 12 months. I've got one more here. What are the biggest obstacles in implementing PAM into existing precincts? University, it mentions here. So absolutely, very good question. So it's actually not that difficult initially because you go through a phase of auditing and capturing the environment. There are generally a multitude of different systems for space planning, utilization, various CAD plans in different systems, and some are quite old. We've even worked with customers using blueprints on some buildings, so they needed to be updated. And then you get some of the super modern Revit kind of models, and working with the BIM system. So there's a multitude of different touch points that you have to pull in together. So that's probably the biggest challenge is capturing all of those data points initially. Once you've got them in there and everybody knows where all the customer touch points are, you create an inventory, you put a price list together, you identify budgets, and then you slowly work with the client on how will you improve the user experience in each one of those environments. So the obstacles, I would say, are quite low initially, because within 3 months, we worked with the Australian National University, 350 buildings. It's a district within Canberra, which is Australia's, the Australian Capital Territory. And within 3 months, they had a really good idea of exactly how big the scale of the project is and what the undertaking would be. So generally, we would tie into quite a significant master plan overhaul of a precinct or environment. Retrospectively capturing information in an environment after that point is actually very easy. You literally get your floor plans in, set someone off, you can audit it, you can do it remotely, or you can do it within the environment, and you can create an inventory of a large hospital within 2 days. We've had airports in the US audited. They had 5 people there for 3 weeks. They had it all wrapped up in 3 days with all the reports and everything. So it just shows that the operational efficiencies are definitely there. Hopefully that answered your question. I can see there are 2 open questions. Is there any others?
Okay, if there is no other questions, so thank you, Stephen, for the presentation today. So thank you all for tuning in to the webinar. So before you leave, please check out our other webinars by scanning the QR code. Thank you, and we look forward to see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.